AEW proved all of AEW deniers wrong with All In Texas. It is, in fact, one of the greatest shows I have ever seen in my life. Hands down. And I just want to make it clear, I went and saw WrestleMania 41, which wasn't a bad show by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not what we all thought it would be, which isn't always a bad thing, but in the case of WrestleMania 41, it was. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kavika, and I am the Squared Circle Scholar, and today we're going to be talking about AEW All In Texas, one of the greatest shows I've ever seen in my life. I honestly can't believe how good it was. Now, just to preface this, if you didn't see my predictions video, you can watch it. You can go to the channel and watch it. But I don't know a lot about AEW. I know an insane amount about WWE, but I haven't watched AEW in about a year, year and a half, 2 years maybe. I can't even really remember when the last time I was consistently watching AEW. So I figured, why not pick it back up at All In? And one great thing that this show did is it told you all the storylines. It caught you up on pretty much everything without me having to go back and watch months worth of content, which, coming back into AEW, I really appreciate that. Thank you, AEW, for making me not have to go through months and months worth of content just to pick up this show. I'm going to go match through match. Some things I have a lot to say, some things I don't, but we're just going to roll through these one by one. The Ops versus the Death Riders and Gabe Kidd. I was for sure that the Death Riders and Gabe Kidd were going to win, and the only thing that led me to that was the Blackpool Combat Club always seemed to win everything, if my memory serves me correct. And if I'm not too sure, but it's Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, I almost said Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley, and I think there is a woman that is a part of the Death Riders, but I don't know her name right now. I'm sorry about that. I feel like they were always winning when they were the Blackpool Combat Club, and so I just assumed that would happen here. And I was completely wrong. I was completely caught off guard. And the main reason I say I was caught off guard is because it feels like the team of Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta have been working together for so long that you would feel like, it feels like they would just gel well together in the ring. You know, you expect them to be a fantastic tag team. They should know each other perfectly at this point. And then I guess if you add in Gabe Kidd, he's almost like a wild card with them too. He doesn't know how to work with them, and they don't know how to work with him, which was good storytelling here. But, and then again, remember, I don't remember much, and I don't know much of what's going on right now. To me, the Ops just seemed like you took 3 random dudes and just threw them together. Like you had just a whole bunch of wrestlers on the wall and you just threw 3 darts and you went, that's a new faction. Those are our guys, which there is nothing wrong with that. I like the Ops. It was so much fun watching them. Samoa Joe with he has such a different kind of style of wrestling. He's a powerhouse, but he's also fast, but he doesn't look like he can do half the things that he does. Then you have Powerhouse Hobbs, who is a powerhouse. It's right there in the name. You really don't have to think too hard about it. Then you have Katsuyori Shibata, who, looking at him, looks like a technical guy. I would assume that's what most Japanese wrestlers look like to me, who just wear the black trunks and black boots and are just kind of straight-faced. They just seem like technical wrestlers, and guess what I got? A technical wrestler. I'm really not going to do play-by-plays, by the way. I'm just kind of going to say what I liked about things. If something in a match comes to mind, I'll talk about it, but otherwise, we're just going to roll through these. But I feel like this was a good way to start the show. I'm assuming, because of the way they acted and everything, Death Riders are heels, our baby faces are the Ops, and we start with a baby face win, which is it's nice to get that like instant gratification of, okay, the good guys won. We're feeling good. Let's coast into this next match. Then we had the men's casino gauntlet match. Now, I did not know what a gauntlet match meant. I knew it said 21 people could enter in. So I was thinking like Battle Royal, Royal Rumble, something along these lines. I had no idea that anybody could win at any point. Like, you don't have to wait for every single person to come in for somebody to win, which I actually like. It's fun. It adds a different flavor to a match. Whereas WWE's Royal Rumble, you have to wait for all 30 people to come in before you can crown a winner, which takes about, I think each Royal Rumble this year was an hour apiece. So for the women's and men's, it was 2 hours for each Rumble match. Not a bad thing, but this is such a nice twist to like this old match style. At this point, it's old. Max Caster coming out and basically not even being a part of the match. That was funny. That was fantastic. I didn't know that Max Caster and Anthony Bowens were no longer a team. What happened there? I'm going to have to figure out what happened there. Maybe you can tell me in the comments below. But MJF wound up winning this match, which I picked Mystico to win, if I remember correctly. And I was both delighted and kind of mad. I don't want MJF to win. He wins everything, it seems like. I wanted Mystico to win because he wrestles insanely good. Like, insanely good. And he's over with the crowd, listening to them sing and call out his name. Oh, it's just beautiful. But yeah, MJF, he steals the win like he always does, and he wins. He's gonna have a chance at a championship at some point in time. I'm not sure when that happens. I don't exactly understand. I still don't understand the whole gauntlet thing. I get how the match works, but is it like Money in the Bank where he can just cash it in at any time, or does he have to get the champion to sign? I don't know. I'm looking forward to figuring out how all that works. Now we move into the Adam Cole match that never was, because Adam Cole was not medically cleared to have a match, which is extremely sad. I said in my predictions video that I was never really a fan of Adam Cole. I never really understood or got his shtick. But it doesn't matter what I think about his character in wrestling or whatever. I genuinely hope that Adam Cole gets better, whatever is wrong with him, because it never specified why he wasn't medically cleared, whether it's a broken bone or he's sick or whatever. Adam Cole, please get better soon. Because of Adam's injury, I'll call it for now, we had a fatal four-way. It was Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, Daniel Garcia, and Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher, the guy who was supposed to face Adam Cole. Duh. Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara are the Ring of Honor tag team champions, I think. And Dustin Rhodes is also the Trios Ring of Honor tag team champion, 6-man tag team champions. I'm still not too sure which one it exactly is, but he is now also our TNT champion. I think they said on commentary that this was his first singles AEW title win, and I'm not too sure how I feel about that, because he's getting up there in age. He's already holding 2 other titles, which sure, he can be protected in wrestling matches because it's tag team and a 6-man tag. But now he's going to have to defend this single title all by himself. I don't know if this was the right call. It was nice because it's Dustin Rhodes. He's in Texas and he wins the title. Like, yes, that is a huge moment for him that he never got in WWE. I'm glad that he got it here. Personally, I feel like Sammy, Kyle, and Daniel might have been the better choice here. And I only say this because I don't necessarily know who Dustin Rhodes is. Like, I know the person, but who's the character? Because for as long as I've been alive, I've known him as Goldust. I don't know who Dustin Rhodes is. I'm excited to find out who he is and exactly how he's going to be champion. But I remember Daniel Garcia as a heel. I don't know if he's face or tweener or whatever now, but I know what to expect from this. Even if he were face now, you can kind of tell how a heel would be a face in the same character. Kyle Fletcher is a new face to me. I was excited for him to win the belt and just go all out crazy because I see people talk about him all the time on the internet. It's just I've never seen what he can do personally. And then I think Sammy Guevara's character work just overall is really, really good. And, you know, he's also really good in the ring. He's among one of the best in AEW. Now, I'm not talking about like Will Osprey, Swerve Strickland levels, but, you know, he's up there. He's near the top. I just hope that Dustin Rhodes actually gets a good title reign out of this. I hope it wasn't just one of those things in wrestling where he wins the title at the big show and then they do nothing with him, kind of like Io Sky. And then we move on to Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks. Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay, if they lose, they are not able to face for the World Championship for a year. And if the Young Bucks lose, they lose their EVP status within AEW. The Young Bucks lost in probably one of the craziest tag team matches I've ever seen. And I know I keep bringing up WWE, but that's kind of where my wheelhouse is right now, so I'm gonna just kind of compare and contrast. Earlier this year, we had the Street Profits in the TLC match with DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns for the tag team titles. And then we have this match here. I feel like these two matches were on the same par, if not this one, Swerve Strickland and the Young Bucks and Will Ospreay, being a little bit better without any weapons, which is kind of just crazy to me. And this is not a knock to the WWE guys whatsoever. They had a fantastic match, but to have a almost near perfect match, in my opinion, no weapon, like you didn't need it. You didn't need it here. It was so action-packed. And I also said in my predictions video that the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega kind of feel very spot heavy to me. You can tell when, okay, here comes a spot. And I know that happens a lot in wrestling. This match, you could tell it was very spot heavy, but it never felt like it. It always felt like they were just moving from one thing to another, trying to outcompete the other wrestler. This match was so fast-paced, and even the parts where it slows down, they would slow down at the right time, giving us a chance to breathe and just realize what we just saw. This match was among one of the best of the night. I mean, it could easily be number 2 for me. Easily. I don't think number 1, and I think we all know, if you watch the show, we all know which one number 1 was, but we'll get to that a little bit later. The next match on the card was the women's Casino Gauntlet match, and there were so many new faces to me in this match that it was almost a bit jarring to watch because I didn't know who this person was and this person was, and then when a face popped up that I knew, I was like, hey, I remember you. I used to watch you a year ago. I predicted Willow Nightingale would win. And when I saw her, I went, hey, I remember you. And then we had Athena. I remember Athena when, she was Ember Moon in WWE, if I remember right. Now, while this match had a lot going for it, they had some amazing spots here in this match. I specifically want to talk about one part of the match that stood out beyond everything, and that is the finish to the match. So I don't know who Athena pinned. I don't remember her name. I'm very sorry. Once again, tell me in the comments down below. But that move, I forget what it's called. So I couldn't remember the name of her finisher, but apparently it's called the O-Face, according to Google. What a name for a finishing move. But the fact that the way she hit it and the way her opponent fell, once again, sorry, don't remember your name, The way she fell just perfectly in that pin was absolute cinema. I'm talking about, it might be one of the best sequences I've seen all year. Even though Athena, if I remember correctly, is already holding a championship, it's nice to know that she's going to be going for an AEW championship, because I believe she's like the Ring of Honor women's champion or something like that. And now she can go like, I guess Ring of Honor's like the NXT of AEW. Now she can finally move on to the main roster. The next match of the card for the AEW World Tag Team 3-Way Championship match was kind of, I would say, a lull in this entire show. And saying it's a lull here is kind of like, I don't even know how to put it into words, because it was still fast-paced, it was still action-packed, it was still awesome. But with so many good matches on this card, this is probably the worst match on this card. And that's saying something, because these guys still killed it. I'm glad that the Hurt Syndicate did win, even though I predicted that they wouldn't, because now we get more Hurt Syndicate as the world champions. And then we saw Nick Wayne turn on Christian Cage, which I thought was going to come, but I thought was going to come in a different form of them winning the tag team championships, then eventually losing it, and then he turns. No, he turns here. This was the deciding factor, it feels like, of whether Nick Wayne kept up with Christian Cage, whether he still wanted to associate with him whatsoever. And this loss here at AEW All In was the nail in the coffin for their relationship as father and son. The AEW Women's Championship match, Toni Storm, timeless Toni Storm versus the CEO, Mercedes Moné, was an interesting match. I think they got it right. We got the right winner, we got the right loser. Mercedes can stay over there with her 13 trillion belts. Leave timeless Toni Storm to be the perfect women's champion. The only reason I say that this match is interesting is because the way this match worked out makes me feel like Toni Storm is absolutely invincible, because you have a woman in Mercedes Moné who is holding every championship known to woman, and she couldn't defeat Toni Storm. She gave Toni Storm everything, every fiber of her being in this match, and she still could not beat Toni Storm. And I just hope that they don't go the route of like, timeless Toni Storm is invincible, because we don't need another lol Cena wins. I don't want that. I'm happy she still has the championship, but I hope they can keep her interesting after this, after defeating such a huge opponent. The next match on the card was the AEW Unified Championship match. Champion Kenny Omega versus champion Kazuchika Okada in another interesting match. I had heard so much from my brother, Tony, who I used to make videos with a few years ago, and he would always tell me, you gotta watch Omega versus Okada. It's awesome. It's amazing. It's awesome. And I think that soiled me on this match a little bit, because my expectations were way up here and they kind of floated around here by the end of the match. I'm not saying they had a horrible match by any means necessary. It was my fault for putting too much on this match. If I didn't have those expectations beforehand, this would be up here with among the best of the show, honestly. But for me, right now, because I had those expectations and everything going into it, nothing really stuck out to me in this match. It didn't feel like there was as much history as there should have been. I don't know. It just, because of those expectations, to me, this match was a little lackluster. Let me know in the comments down below. Should I watch Omega versus Okada back when they were in New Japan? Should I take the time to do that? Would that better my soul? And finally, in definitively the best match of the night, we have Hangman Adam Page defeating Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. Now, like I said at the beginning of this episode, I don't remember much from AEW, but that did not matter in this match. From the second that Hangman Adam Page came out to the final bell, you could feel the weight of this match. The crowd would just go silent at times. It was something beautiful to watch. One of the opening moves of the match was a fork to the forehead. And I don't know if it's that I've been watching WWE for so long and have been almost, how do I put it, desensitized. Like, usually when people see violence, we're so desensitized to it that we don't even think about it. But when I saw him just bang, 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 and the blood start pouring out of Jon Moxley's forehead, I winced. And I don't usually wince when it comes to wrestling. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll get into it and, I lose that disbelief. But this actually legitimately made me wince. I haven't had an emotion like that watching wrestling in years. I'm talking about probably since I was a kid. I mean, I could sing so many praises of this match. This match evokes to me the same emotions I felt during the main event of Night 2 WrestleMania 40. Because we had, the people coming in, we had all this chaos and everything. But this match held so much weight. I didn't realize that Jon Moxley had been holding this title hostage. He didn't even wear it. He has it in a briefcase to where nobody even gets to look at it. He beat Bryan Danielson for it. And when Hangman Adam Page finally pulled that title out of the briefcase, it still had the same side plates that Bryan Danielson had when he held the title. Jon Moxley didn't even change the side plates to show it's his title. No, he took hostage of the title. Nobody here wanted Jon Moxley to win. I don't think there's a single human being alive that wanted Jon Moxley to win, unless you're like one of the, internet trolls that love that kind of stuff. This was the right winner. This was the right main event. This was the right match type. This was the perfect finale to an almost perfect show. I can't wait to watch more AEW. This show has me so hyped for everything. Everything on this card, I'm so excited to see more of. The winners, the losers, where these championship reigns are going to go. I'm all for it. Normally when I do reviews, I give matches a either, 0 to 5 star rating, depending how good it was. I'm not even going to do that. I feel like it's a waste of time because I enjoyed this show so much. This show is an A+. Just give it I'll be a little bit conservative here, a 99 out of 100, just in case something else blows my mind this year. This show has me so much more excited for wrestling than the upcoming SummerSlam ever could. Ever. I don't think there's a match that WWE could put on right now for SummerSlam that would make me more excited for the future of wrestling in WWE than this match has done for AEW. This is just bravo. Bravo, AEW. Amazing work. Sorry for the long video, but I had to get all my thoughts out of there. I've been thinking about this for the past few days, and I finally got time to make a video, so I'm so glad I got to make it. I'm so glad I got to watch this show. I am just happy. I'm over the moon. I can't wait for more. But thank you all for watching. Make sure you put down in the comments below what you thought about AEW All In, your likes, your dislikes. Give me everything you thought about this show. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.